Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday morning. I waited until like 9:30 to do this, just in case any of my neighbors are like hungover and they're like, I want to sleep in a little bit. So it's 9:30. That's as far as I waited. We got some of the Mustang done here. I figured out that it's all mechanical, my trans brake issue. For example, on the electrical side, it's gonna work. If I press our trans brake button here, it's on, and then this is our pulse for a bump. So that stuff works fine. It's just like a mechanical issue where I didn't have reverse with the other solenoid. So I put our brand new solenoid back in. So we're just gonna try it, see if we have our reverse and our forward. A lot of these manual valve bodies don't have reverse. You have to press the trans brake to get reverse. I don't think that's the case with this one. I've had reverse the whole time until I started tinkering with this. So we're gonna pull it out of the garage. We're just gonna get it up on a little bit of RPMs, press the trans brake and see if it'll bump forward, and then we'll reduce our duty cycle on the solenoid just to see like where it's happy to creep forward. Of course the battery's dead! Take two, let's hope it starts. Well, I don't even have reverse. I couldn't even get out of the garage. In fact, in trying to get reverse, I actually creeped the car forward more and almost hit the MIG welder. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm gonna have to pull that transmission out and see if there's something screwy in that valve body or something, because I might have toasted it when I blew that trans cooler line. Who knows? It used to work fine in all forward gears, but now I don't even have reverse. I'm thoroughly confused. But today wasn't about this car. We're just gonna leave it. We're gonna go over to Tokyo's house because we got some bump sticks and stuff for his car. I said sticks as in plural, but it's a LS, so it only has one stick. Just like your mom likes. So I'm just heading over to Tokyo's. Let's get some interaction going here. If you guys had to choose any daily driver under, let's say, $60,000 US, which would it be and why? I guess you have to consider snow and like some place that has snow as well. But let me know down in the comments. We'll have a quick little discussion on it. I should have fixed my mustache today with some paste or something because it doesn't look that good. Shit, my man's is already at it.
Making rooms.
This is like the cleanest this garage has ever been.
For a while, yeah.
I'm gonna haul this junk out. Look at you, you already had it. Half of it already parked.
Trying, man. I'm learning.
It only minimally smells like fuel in here.
That's not from the car. I haven't touched a single fuel line. The mini bike was leaned over.
Ah, I see. My garage smells like fuel anyways because the vent line, there's no charcoal canisters on our cars anymore. So, huge shout out to Brian Tooley Racing for this one. They really hooked us up. If you don't know who Brian Tooley Racing is by now, they've been a big part of the channel, but they're like your one-stop shop for all your LS parts. And yeah, they really hooked it up. So we have some LS9 head gaskets here, the multi-layer head gaskets, and then we've got the head bolts to go with it. If you're running some sort of like stock bottom end deal, the rod bolts are going to be fine. You can reuse them. The studs are just a little bit stronger at 3 times the price.
Head bolts, not rod bolts.
Yes, head bolts, sorry. Then in here, we've got our valve springs, dual valve springs for 660 lift or whatever. Push rods. So essentially it's their cam kit. We've got the cam, push rods, valve springs. This is their Brian Tooley Racing Stage 2 twin turbo cam. They have comp cams, make their cams for them. And then we have the Smith Brothers trunking kit here. This just gets rid of all the needle bearings and your rockers so you don't lose them. Just puts like a solid bushing inside of it instead. We're gonna need a vise for that. Good thing I didn't mount mine. We have upper and lower timing gears, timing chain to replace, and then the high volume oil pump. This probably isn't necessary, but where we're running twin turbos and 2 oil feed lines, it's probably better to have it than not. With those small turbos, we won't be revving it out to 75, 8,000 RPM anyways. It makes boost around 3,000. And then Colin at RPM hooked us up as well, and we have some LS7 lifters. Fortunately, he had these because they're basically sold out everywhere, and he managed to have a kit there. So this is our top end package. It's going to allow us to breathe. It's going to move the power band like a bit further up in the RPM range, which is good because we're making too much torque down low, and Neil's like, might bend some rods there. But yeah, so we're going to pull the motor out. We'll get as far as we can today, and we'll see what we can get in. Ideally, it'd be nice to like pull the engine out, get it on the stand, do everything we have to do, and then get it where we can put it back in today. That'd be awesome. I got the final bolt coming out here now, the bottom transmission bolt. We didn't actually have to get under the car, which was nice. I just hope the converter stays in place when we get under there.
Engine stand is together. Everything is off.
Well, everything that needs to be disconnected is disconnected. We're still gonna have to pull the motor down further to obviously get everything on. Like the pan has to come off.
Yeah. We've also got some energy suspension insert poly bolt bushings.
The engine, admittedly, the friggin' engine mounts weren't even bolted up. Like the bolts you could just slide them around because they weren't tight. I don't know who did that. Might have been me. It's one of those things where like you put it all together, you got a couple bolts missing. You just hope it's not the engine bolts. Dang, first oil change since we built it. The oil definitely looks well used though. So we've got our lifters standing upright in here. That'll be, they're soaking, get all the air bubbles out of them. We gotta figure out how to get this on an engine stand. I think we can use some of the accessory bolts, as long as we use spacers. So all this front accessory stuff has to come off now. And then start tinkering and get it down to bare block. Well enough to put the camshaft in. So we gotta take the heads off. So we're doing head gaskets as well. So like a last minute thing, we realized we didn't have, put your damn seatbelt on. What the heck? I'm getting chauffeured around here.
So you can play Trailer Park Boys game.
Play Trailer Park, yeah. We didn't have flywheel bolts because we're putting the different flywheel on, an SFI approved one, so we'll get some new flywheel bolts at the very least instead of ARP, unfortunately. And then we got AC Delco filter, bro. OEM.
Because the dealer
smaller than the other one, actually.
Because the dealer's open here on a Saturday in the parts department.
Yeah. GM was open on a Saturday, just like my legs.
60 kilometers an hour.
I think we can see the speed up. My stupid ass, I was looking at the rear tires on this thing. I was like, damn, that kind of looks like a sticky tire. And then I realized it's just a winter tire worn down so far that it looks like a slick tire. What a tire slayer. Well, it's on the stand. I mean, redneck spacers, we use sockets here to, because our bolts are a bit too long. And then these ones we use some nuts. Start stripping it down, get the heads off it. Don't look at the cam bearings because they're gonna be bad. We'll just jam that cam in there. Spit on it first a little bit. Look at you, all expert. Expert, freaking cock expert. Oh, dirty. Actually, doesn't look bad.
There's oil up there.
Those are all 8 mils too. So we need to clear out this table, I think, to...
Right here, maybe?
We've got a lot of work ahead of us because you got to do the trunnions of each one of these rockers. It takes a pretty long time. Tokyo's going to start pulling the head bolts. We'll get the heads off of this. Everything under here looks pretty decent. I mean, it ran fine when we put it in, so...
Here's the big socket 8.
Right here. You're going to want a breaker bar for that, by the way.
Am I?
Yeah.
Can I just break up an impact?
Yes.
Sure I can.
Probably. I don't know. Let's try it, I guess. Impact on a chrome socket with an extension.
With a chrome extension.
That was tight. Yep. It works if you put it the right way. Man, those Milwaukee tools work good. How much torque is that one?
650 brake, I believe.
That's it? My new DeWalt one.
This is an old one.
Oh, my new DeWalt one? 1,400 foot-pounds.
Yeah, I don't even have a
Lithium?
1, 2, 3 setting. Oh no, it's an M18 lithium.
Oh, okay.
What about this?
Nope, that one. You should be able to squeeze it past that. Working on his own car.
Learning.
Getting learned.
Getting learned with Ricky. So I can be 4 to be more better.
So these should just pop off now. We might need that screwdriver. Just jam it under here. In the corner somewhere. Just to... Yeah, they should just pull off. You're gonna lose a bit of coolant on the floor. Now if we were real sloppy, we'd reuse these head gaskets, but because we have new ones, we won't. Oh yeah, this is our tables, our work tables. So white table and then the truck tailgate. Neighbor's gonna be cooking up some margaritas here soon, or pina coladas, something like that. Get on to her bike.
It's not that bad for 14 pounds of boost on 200 and some thousand kilometers.
Now a lot of guys will just reuse that.
I'm not that ghetto. Well, you know,
Well, Sloppy Mechanics does it all the time. And
we are doing it ghetto and cheap, but the goal is to spend the money in the right places because
Yeah.
I don't want downtime.
so we'll roll it over out once we have both heads off, just check the walls and stuff in it, but so far it looks...
It'd be nice if we had a ball home.
No, because we got to pull the pistons out for that. It smells like the Rain Gap's 26 thou.
That's good. Good.
There's nothing, like nothing fell in the pistons or anything here, so it looks good. Like no, there's no scratches in the walls or anything. I mean,
Looks like sendability.
yeah.
Cleaning up the heads. Kyle's getting ready to take the cam out.
The boner stick.
The boner stick, as we call it.
This one's the soft boner stick, and the other one's got a hard boner stick because it's got more
Stick to the boners.
lift to it. Yeah. So
How many boners do you got, Nathan?
Socks and flip flops, that's how many. All of them.
And then we're not going to look at the cam bearings because they're going to be bad. Oh, you know what we got to do? We got to take the lifters out first.
Battery died. We back though.
This one has a QR code on it. Broke it on there. Just getting an assembly lube everywhere. Actually, I need to get those bolts that are in the other cam.
Kyle's handling my shaft very carefully.
Ooh.
It's
We didn't look at the cam bearings either. Not even a flashlight or anything.
Not allowed.
Yeah. That's Matt's fault. If it fails, it fails. That's basically why we should pick up another 5.3 over the winter and build it to have a spare one. Because Tokyo and I, we have the exact same setup, engine, trans, rear end. So we might as well get another 5.3 on hand. Because one of us are bound to blow one up and then...
Likely going to be you. Unless my Ching Chong turbos go south.
In which case we're getting mirrored ones. Or you could put a single turbo on it. I wouldn't be mad if you put a single. It's in.
Comp cam, boner stick.
Spins.
BTR stage 2.
Spins.
Shout out to Brian Tooley Racing.
Yeah, huge shout out to Brian Tooley Racing.
Hooking us up on this car and the blue car.
They believe in us little guys. I'm gonna run to my house, see if I can get a puller to get this gear off, because we have a brand new gear, chains, and top gear. So we'll try not to reuse this one. And I'm also gonna weld a new bung in the pan because it sits a little low. I'm gonna try and move it up, see if we can get rid of some of our burning oil issue through the turbo. Tokyo's gonna do the valve springs while I'm gone. And drink Virgin pina coladas.
Hello.
Tokyo doesn't drink. We're doing the valve springs. We just got this cheap little tool on Amazon. I think it was like 13 bucks. It just screws down in the bottom here. You tighten this nut and it pushes down on your valve spring. You can pull the keepers out. Other way. There you go. There you go. Ratchet it on. I'm going to have to tap on the valve a little bit because it's pushing the valve down right now. That end of the screwdriver. Oh, there was one of the keepers. So if it does stick like that, just pop it before we get down so deep next time. And then, yeah. And then look at that. You did a thing. All by yourself. You learnt your ABCs, bro.
I know. I got learnt with Ricky.
So now I'm going to go do my thing, and I'll be back in probably like half an hour, And that better be done when I get back, or else.
Why you got this so tight? Do you want me to put the new springs in?
Yeah.
Valve springs and seals are out. Kyle's back.
Goes really wide. Takes that outside clip.
We're watching Spec D drifting. That's like
Paul brought ice cream.
Ice cream.
That's our
They
local.
actually have an incredible video.
Yeah, the Certified Audio Sound sponsored it. It's out in Mission, BC. The boys are just sliding.
Here's the. I just jammed some filler in that one, and then we put this one in. This one's like 2 inches higher, and then I welded it on the inside instead.
Yeah, so the reasoning behind that is kind of figured that the low drain.
It might be aerating the oil up in the line and then pushing some out the turbo. So we'll just try it. If it doesn't help, it doesn't help. Well, 2 heads, valve springs in them.
Fill that rear zone completely. So
We inherited Nathan to do the trunnion kits over here. So he's putting the trunnions in the rockers, but we needed the heads done so we can put it on the block because I got the pan, oil pump, front cover, all the shit done. So flip it over, we'll start putting the heads on, we can bolt those down.
Nathan's doing the trunnion kit.
unfortunately for them,
The heads are done.
We already did that.
Valve springs are done.
We already did this.
Where was I?
You were in the bathroom taking a shit.
God damn it.
Yeah, you're shitting out of your butt.
So it's now, time is it?
7-ish?
10 after 7.
Yeah, and so everybody complaining that like my first build took so long, it's because we're just learning how to do it and going through it, and now that we know kind of how to do things,
I'm learning a hell of a lot.
yeah, stuff goes by a lot faster. So we're just putting our final pass on these heads, and then Nathan's still doing the trunnions. Pop the
Paul hooked us up big time. I ended up getting, when I ordered my oil filter
from GM. We got,
from GM,
got like a half year.
I got one for an 06. I guess they switched partway through and half year 07. So Paul works at Bumper to Bumper, helped us out, went over, grabbed us a filter for the car. So it's now sealed on the bottom end. Once the heads are torqued, we can put the
Push rods
in,
Trunnion,
the trunnions that
rockers.
Nathan's almost done doing.
Yeah.
And then we can put the valve covers back on
And it's
and sealed.
You know, watching UFC.
And then we're going to watch UFC. One man versus another man, one woman versus another woman, hugging, rolling around, getting all sweaty. I'm pretty sweaty right now. The neighbors brought us pina coladas earlier, and it's been a good day.
It has been a good day.
I'm learning a lot of things, hanging out with the homies, doing hood rat shit with my hood rat friends.
We did the basics of basics for cam swaps.
Yeah, we closed our eyes for the cam bearings.
I still think we should legitimately build a second engine, and then if we build that one better than this one, just swap it out for this one and have this as a backup. So either way, it's gonna be nice to have a backup engine.
Our nice Yank converter down there. hanging out.
Yeah, that makes everything, because mine, 9 seconds to get on the brake, yours is like 1.5, something like that.
Like 2 seconds, and I'm 2.5, and I'm 8 psi.
Yeah.
On brake.
There it is. Valve cover's back on. It's ready to drop back in the car. It probably could have used a coat of paint, but nobody gives a shit. Just clean it up now, and then inside for UFC. Wait! Somebody on Sloppy wants that head gasket. I'm just kidding. Okay. But they probably would. Day 2 of our little build here. We did get it all like up and sealed tonight. Gonna start by putting some accessories on it. Then we'll drop it in. And then we gotta add some meth to it. Because we do have a meth kit in the back. And we were supposed to hook it up. But now we will hook it up. That way we can be just like safe on pump gas. Why you guys not subscribed yet? The more subscribers, the more stupid stuff we can do. Let's build something dumb next. I'm actually gonna put this 175 degree stat. I think it's 175. 169! Hey! Get that 69. Right now I think we have like an airflow issue in the front with the radiator, and it creeps up to like 200 when you're cruising on the highway, so we'll just lower the stat because nobody gives a shit about coolant temperature as long as your oil's warm. Might even run no stat, who cares? There's probably a better way to get these motor mount bolts out. Someone's gonna be like, are you idiot? But this is all I can figure out so far.
One Kyle power. Ha ha ha.
I'm flower power.
Friggin' LS. I got a Kyle Williams.
That was like 3 horsepower right there for sure. While we're in here, we're doing motor mounts, which is honestly one of the hardest things to get at, these bolts, because you got to go like in through control arm. This is definitely
But for reference, this is the original clamshell.
And this is your mom's clamshell.
This is your mom's clamshell. This is energy suspension. Poly mounts. Poly insert mounts, I guess. Kyle's over here drilling your mom's clamshell.
Oh, my pussy. That's what she sounds like. Well, it's currently like 11 o'clock. It's dark as hell out because the rain's coming down, like moistly, like I make your mom. So it's a good thing we finished our engine build out in the clean room yesterday here, because it's raining now. Our temperature controlled clean room. But we're ready to take it off the stand. We couldn't put our accessories on the front because our accessory bolts are actually holding it on the stand. So we'll get those on and then, you know, just prop it in the car. Ooh, well, the stupid ass engine's back in place, Ted. SR20 pull a premium 1 week before race. Wow, that was bad.
Week before waste balls?
Yeah.
Way to go, Kyle.
The worst part here. Okay, stop. F off. I said f off with your noise. I'm trying to talk here.
My name is Cyrus. Cyrus. I don't give a fuck.
But these bolts were the most annoying things to do ever, the motor mount bolts. Because you had to get it in between, like right here for the top two. And of course, this is where Daddy Cal ran all our wires, so that was hard to do. And the bottom one, you actually have to get in through like the control arm. So those are annoying. But now that they're in, the motor's a lot solid, more solid than it was. It might sit slightly higher, so the alternator might hit the hood again, but
Get the clearance stick from Ricky.
it's not gonna flex as much, so that's good. And now we gotta have a pizza break, cause
I'm the flex.
pizza break, cause I deserve it, and it's like noon now. Oh shit! It's like to the stage where it looks like a car again. Spark plug wires, cooling system, air flow. The one thing we did notice is that the solid bushings did raise it up a little bit, so we do have a bit of clearance under the turbos now compared to before, which means our alternator might hit the hood again and have to self-clearance itself. It's all good. It's all good. Other than that, look at it. Look at it! Pretty much a car again. In like 2 days we had this. For us, that's pretty good. For us, that is pretty good. Black Sheep Industries.
OG Black Sheep Industries.
OG. I'm gonna put spark plug wires on now.
So I can crank it without fuel
Why?
to hold oil pressure.
terribly nervous, he says. We're just gonna crank it without fuel pressure. Just gonna make sure we're reading oil pressure because we didn't change out the O-ring on the oil pump pickup tube, but it was already an aftermarket O-ring on it, so it felt right to me. It felt right.
So I'm just gonna crank it with no fuel injection, no nothing.
Okay. Here's the moment of truth. I heard the fuel pressure prime there.
Any fuel leaks?
Oh, not that I can see, no?
Okay.
Okay.
Match sensor plugged in?
Yep. We got no power steering fluid in it.
That was 60 psi of oil pressure on cold start.
Okay, yeah, we got oil pressure. Okay, we don't have a lot of power steering fluid, but we got some. I didn't hear a significant amount of idle difference, but it was on cold start, so.
Start it again?
Yep. See, we'll get hot boxed in here. This car makes me so happy. Look at him. He's just a big happy man now. I'm glad we could do this in like 2 days, and then he's not gonna miss that much downtime because the throttle cable is broken anyways, and I gotta fix that. So really the car was only down for like 2 days. And I've got a nice big cam and a dual springs, and I feel safe for having it like $7 grand with these turbos. So I think our alternator hits the hood a little bit here. Not judging by the dents from the hammer, but because... And then... I can like feel it underneath the hood right there. So, that's it, boys. It's all done. I mean, unfortunately, the roads are kind of shit out, so we can't really take it out. But, gonna go home, relax now, because it's been basically 2 days straight working on this. But I'm so glad that we got it done. And I hope he's happy with it. I know he's happy with it. And the fact that he got involved with this one and got his hands on a lot of stuff certainly helps. So, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Peace easy, and get that V. Put that V on him.